Tonight, Legion ties up for top honors. The Warcraft movie keeps on giving, and Thrall retires? What? Huh. All this and more as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Yes. From the Battlenet News broadcast bunker. That's what we're calling it. In Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is September 13th, 2016, and it is now 9:11 in the PM. That's Central Time, by the way. Thanks for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. And hello, my name is Pat Crane, your host of the show. And the players are here as well. From somewhere in Appalachia, we'll go to this man first. It's Sharku!
I'm just happy to be here today, man. I'm glad that I'm not at work, and I am hanging out with my buds, talking about Blizzard games.
Yep.
Playing some Warcraft.
Yep.
I'm playing Warcraft again, and a lot of it, and there's so much stuff to do.
Oh, well, in that case, we're gonna get the camera off of you, and we'll go to the Great Salt Lake and visit with Linus 8 Gaming and Tattva.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So what?
I'm not as excited as Shark.
All your world quests are respawning.
Sleep.
They're all respawning now, so it's fine.
I know.
You'll just have to wait it out throughout the show. It's okay.
Yeah, the withdrawals are kicking in. I think my left eye is starting to twitch, actually.
That's no good.
Fun times.
Right. And now we will go to the Mile High City and visit with our good friend, John Horstmann.
Hey, Pat. It's good to be here. On a scale of excitement, I'm right between Tattva and Shark.
Yeah.
Like a giant group hug with me in the middle. Like a sandwich.
Aww.
A big, beautiful, bearded sandwich.
I like that. I'm down.
Yes, the three beards are here. So welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome out there. Welcome to another fun-filled show of silliness. And as we usually start every show of silliness, we'll start it off with what we've been up to. And Shark, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah, real life happens sometimes. I've been busy with work.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have to say hi to Hannah. She's sneaking in here.
Hi,
somewhere.
Hannah. So, hey, what's going on? What's going on with you and Adults with Jobs and to hard? Are you still in the to hardcores? Sure. Is that
here's the rub.
Okay. All right.
Just because of real life and things like that, sometimes you get spread a little thin.
Yep.
I've been, oh my gosh, apparently Hannah is rearranging the furniture.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Okay, we're good. You gonna, all right. You spilled, you're okay? Sorry, and right. Back in. Yep. So, but yeah, with work and everything, I had to take a step back, so I am now officially the sub for Adults with Jobs. I'm no longer on their main team.
Okay.
And I had to step away from To Hardcores, the team that I founded and started, and I love those guys so much. There is good news, and real quick, I want to say to Hardcores that I love them. I'm gonna miss them. If I'm ever in game and you guys are raiding and you see me, whisper me. I want to jump in. And you guys, you're really the best, and you guys are gonna keep having as much fun without me.
That's cool.
But anyway, the good news is I'm gonna be raiding with Zug.
Oh boy.
And Jules.
Yeah.
And all you fun guys on the Ermagerd Offensive.
Yeah, we have a new team. We have a new team. It's called the Ermagerd Offensive. And so we were gonna say it was
offensive.
We were gonna say it was the Ermagerd or furniture, but that would be a little bit too tough to type. So,
right. But the timing works out just so much better for me, my schedule, and it allows for me and my girlfriend to play together. And I'm just really happy to play at all. And I'm going to be playing my DK again instead of my mage this time.
Yeah.
So switch it up a little bit.
So you'll be standing in a lot more poop.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure the mage will find a team eventually.
Right.
Convert to Mythic, wink.
Uh-oh.
But we'll see. We'll have to ask somebody about that.
We don't take people who stand and poop.
Right. Well, that's a great segue. So Tattva, how is Convert to Mythic going, and what else are you doing in game right now?
Everything in game, like absolutely everything. So there's that, and then
what's your eye level?
I think I finally got my first 850 piece yesterday. My luck's been horrible.
Wow.
I think I was telling everyone earlier, like I've got the achievement for completing 500 world quests already. Whatever. Anyways, I don't want to talk about
it. That means you get the big applause. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I don't know if I'd applause that.
All right, then I'll just stop it.
500? Are you kidding me?
I know. No, I'm not. It's really sad, kind of.
So what are you doing other than playing WoW right now?
So yeah, Convert to Mythic. There was kind of a.
Goes right back to WoW. That's perfect.
Oh no, I don't exist in real life. Even I think I'm actually like I'm an avatar, kind of. Anyways, whatever. But Convert to Mythic is. There's been a change of leadership recently, and I inherited the team somehow. Anyways, so I've been leading that. And we have an awesome group of officers that have helped do all the recruiting and stuff. Crab people and Reppins have kind of taken over that side of things and gone through a ton of apps and, invited a bunch of people. I mean, so we're kind of bursting at the seams right now, which is going to be good, moving into heroic and stuff. Yeah. And then so we'll do the heroic clearing, and then performance will get you a spot into the Mythic team. I mean, like, we have a goal to, of course, get everyone decked out in the Mythic gear and stuff, and we'll rotate people in, but just part of being a Mythic team is you're going to take your top performers for the first initial kills anyway, so it'll be fun to be competitive with that and see who can bring it.
I accept.
Well, John, I don't think you have time for it, do you? No, you don't.
Can you work around, like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes twice a week? Will that work?
Just come in for a couple of pulls and then be done. Then be like, I'm out, guys. I'll see you later. It's time to work.
John, bring me in at about 30% boss health. Yeah. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect for me.
That'd be
good.
Shadow trash.
You're a Shadow Priest. We can bring you in for execute phase. We'll just summon you in. Like,
I mean, that's all I really do anyway, right?
Yeah.
What do I even do for the first 65%? Shadow Fiend? Yeah.
Sit there and attempt not to kill yourself, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, wow.
It's true.
Wow.
It's true.
Try not to surrender to the madness. Yeah.
But,
so,
yeah, other than... Sorry.
Go ahead.
Jokes.
Go ahead.
But yeah, just other than Convert to Mythic, I mean, that's taken up a lot of time. We've been doing like 5-man Mythic groups on our raid nights. We raid Thursdays and Sundays, but we just break off. And it's awesome. People are pushing really hard. The team is looking really good. It's a lot of really strong players, and we're pretty excited about it. But then other than that, of course, Emerald Nightmare comes out next week.
Yeah.
So 2-minute tips will be making their comeback, and
awesome. So when is that coming back? What is that coming back?
I mean, just due to our schedule, like Tovo and I, because of real life crappiness, we end up never being able to do beta testing ever because of the crazy schedule when they test the bosses. Yeah. And so, I mean, it was like that with Hellfire Citadel. We literally, as soon as the servers go live on Tuesday morning, we go in and clear normal, and then we get the footage, and then we start making the videos. And so you can probably expect the first video or two out within that Tuesday night or Wednesday night. But I mean, it's like it.
Then again, I mean, you're basically getting all your strats together. You're making sure that it works with everything that's going live, so you're not really messing up with folks, and you're not saying, "Oh, this is the way it's on beta, so it's not really this way." No, you're saying this is the way it is in normals and heroics. This is what you can expect. So that's actually kind of cool in that respect. So
so that's going to be exciting. That whole schedule gets crazy just because of how we have to do it. I end up having to edit 18 hours a day or something for those.
So you end up going from playing WoW 18 hours a day to editing 18 hours a day. That'll be good.
Yeah, basically.
Good change of pace for you. Sitting in the same chair, just a different screen.
Yeah, the other exciting thing
for that.
The other exciting thing, though, is because of how excited I am about Convert to Mythic, I think we're going to be able to push out some Mythic 2-minute tip videos, too. So
yeah,
that will be fun.
Ooh.
I like that. I like hearing that. John, so other than your busy work life and stuff like that, are you managing to play all of those different games? Because, I mean, you have the Payload, you have the Well Met podcast over on BlizzPro.com. And I know that you're playing the WoWs quite a bit. So, how goes the management of all those games? Plus, Rocket League Rumble came out. I mean, it was amazing. So,
oh yeah, I just totally skipped that. That's the threshold.
You can't skip it. Oh, Rumble is so cool. Anyway, go ahead.
Car soccer.
Go ahead.
I think I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
In Hearthstone, I got up into single digits already, so I'm already up in there around rank 6.
Awesome.
So that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
I hit platinum on both PC and console for Overwatch.
Wow.
So it's not bad. I'm about 2,900 for console, which means that I should be able to hit master. No, diamond. Dang it. Oh, no, diamond. I always think I'm so close to master, and then I realize I'm 600 points away. Story of my life. And then I also, I'm at 830 item level on World of Warcraft. So not doing too bad, I would say. I think that's okay.
You're doing pretty good.
It's okay.
You're doing better than I am, that's for sure, because I'm at like 800 eye level, somewhere around there.
I'm at 793. So you guys
I don't even know.
I'm the worst, though. The literal worst.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it's still like I'm having fun. I'm going around doing all the things. I'm doing the world quest, kind of, and trying to, figure it all out while I rearrange my studio 1,400 times this week. So, so that's good. And get this. Get what else we did this week for Convert Trade. Well, is what I did anyway, and what Jules Scott did, because she's over here now and we're working together. But we have a new T-shirt to show you guys.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
And if you want, here before I do the unveiling, and if you want, you can join in on the campaign. It's a campaign. It's a Teespring campaign. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. If you are, you'll want to go over to teespring.com/notrepaired. Because
you are not prepared.
There's the shirt.
Right there.
So
you edited out the P.
You are not prepared.
There we go. So that's the shirt.
Illidan always dropping the P.
And for exactly. And for those guys on the audio listening to that, it's a picture of the guy that turns red. The two swords, all of his equipment is red, and it says you are not repaired on it. So you can go over teespring.com/notrepaired and go check it out over there. I don't know. Just something goofy. That's that. Hey,
I'm getting one, maybe like two.
Right. Before we get into the news, and Tattva, you were kind of talking about this beforehand, and I'm like, no, let's save it for the show. It's actually the anniversary of the corrupted blood incident from ZG, right? So, So Tattva explained to people what the corrupted blood incident was and what happened with everything.
Okay, so if you weren't playing back in vanilla when ZG came out, Zul'Gurub, the very last boss in there was Hakar. Awesome fight, really fun. Some cool loot dropped from him that people were dying over. But anyways, during the fight, he would put a debuff out called Corrupted Blood, and it would be it's very contagious. It jumps to new players, and it just kills you. It takes your health down really fast, and it kills you. But the Corrupted Blood incident happened when there was a bug where when people exited the zone, it removed the curse from them, or the debuff, but not from pets. And so the curse, or the debuff, made it out into the real world, into Azeroth, and just laid waste. It turned into this crazy virus and made it to the major cities, and people were just dying everywhere, and it became kind of like an epidemic. And it was hilarious because people stopped like going to major cities to avoid getting the plague, because then you'd die. And I mean, people were complaining low level characters were just getting annihilated instantly, and it's just a crazy time. And like people from like counterterrorism units and stuff actually like researched and studied that thing to see how people in the real world would react if like a virus attack happened and stuff. Like, I mean, it was legit, like craziness happened. It was pretty cool though.
Wow.
That's what happened.
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird.
They actually had to like shut down the game for a little bit to try to finally kill the virus that crept everywhere.
That's no good. But happy anniversary.
Anniversary
for those guys that were in ZG during that time. So I didn't come in
if
until
you played WoW.
Yeah, if you played WoW during that time, I wasn't even in yet. I was a Wrath kid, so you know.
I don't think I was playing yet. If I was just leveling. I didn't hit level cap until BC.
And then you just would like somebody comes by and then you randomly die, and you're like, oh, that's weird. Well, I'll just go again, and
I gotta go to class now.
Pat, how long was it from when you started playing WoW to when you started CTR?
We started CTR in Kata, so we started it.
Was it?
Yeah, it started before, whatchamacallit?
Dragon Soul.
Yeah, Dragon Soul came out.
Firelands.
No, it was Firelands. It was Firelands. Thank you.
Firelands. Okay.
So yeah, it was right before Firelands came out, and oh boy, what did you do? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Did you do that? All right.
Okay. I don't think I've ever been on the show when you played that sounder. I just got really excited.
You're welcome, Shark. You're welcome. You owe me a drink at BlizzCon.
Oh boy. Look out. Look out. Yeah, so it was a while. It was a while. I don't know.
Nice. Sorry.
Anyway,
that was totally tangential.
Sure. Well, speaking of which, let's just dive right into the news because we've got some stuff to talk about. That's it. Let's talk about Legion for a minute because there were some news about how many copies sold in its very first day. 3.3 million. Yeah! And
that's huge.
And you think, well, you know, Wrath. I mean, they had 12 million at the end of Wrath, and they had 10 million at the end of whatever it was, and they had, you know, I mean, throw your numbers out of wherever. But for a first day of a game, this actually ties for the top, right? Is that right?
So Zug, how many sales did Wrath of the Lich King have on their first day?
Wrath of the Lich King had 2.8 million, according to the data I have in front of me.
2.8 million.
First day.
And Legion had how many?
3.3 million.
So Legion did better than Wrath of the Lich King on opening day.
On the opening day. And then Cataclysm actually got 3.3 as well. And
then everybody played it.
I liked Cataclysm until toward the end. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm just on his toes the entire time. What am I doing just on Deathwing's toes? I feel like I'm giving him a manicure.
That was the worst.
There's so many reasons why.
The mani-pedi of
I don't think
giving Deathwing a back massage, then a mani-pedi at 3.
Mm-hmm. Some people make it sound like Cataclysm was punishment, that we enjoyed the game too much. And so they came. I mean, Cataclysm had its problems, but it was still a fun game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was.
It was still a very fun game.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was just the end. You know, the end of the expansions are always kind of like a little too long, and recently, way too long. Just gonna say that. Yeah. And hopefully,
bold statement, Cotton.
Yeah, exactly. but just that was my only real complaint about Cataclysm. People said that Dragon Soul was just kind of a wash, wasn't that great. I'm like, well, there was some creativity to it and stuff like that. I had some fun during that raid. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a complete bias to that because Dragon Soul is my first ever raid tier, and I played so much of Dragon Soul. I was that guy who would run LFR past when you could get rewards just to practice my rotation. So I was like playing all the time, and I would just literally sit by myself probably 8 hours a day when I couldn't actually raid and heroic raid, sit in LFR and play those fights. So I love Dragon Soul, but yeah, it wasn't very good.
Compared to what we have now, I mean, they've gotten progressively better with raid content, I think, since Cataclysm. I mean, every raid that's come out, it's been better, amazing, more interesting, cool, fun content. Looking back, even just a couple raid tiers from where we were in Siege of Orgrimmar, or not, and then to where we ended up in Citadel. Like, I don't know. I just, way to go, keep it up, more content, faster.
Well,
agreed.
I don't know if you really need to scream out more content. I'm kind of like, hey.
Well, not right now. No,
there's a lot of content right now, and I think that there's more coming
for a few months. I think we're good for a few months.
Let's hope.
Maybe a couple months, and then we can start talking about what the next thing is going to roll out.
Right.
We already know that. What are you talking about?
Well, but I mean, here's the issue that I'm having with this and what's happened in the last. I feel like they're like, okay, more content faster. All right, here you go. You got this, and now we're going to throw you this, and now we're going to give you this and this. And it's almost like it comes out too fast, and then we just stretch and stretch and stretch.
Well,
or maybe if they stretch it out a little bit in between, it doesn't feel as long when we're waiting.
So
for the new.
So there was a thing this week, and we'll talk more about it a little bit later too. Where there was a Q&A this last week for with Ian Hazzikostas and Lore was the questioner, and they were talking about pacing and about how really the pacing has been off lately. And I would say in Warlords of Draenor, the pacing was the worst it's probably ever been because it was fast, nothing. Right?
I don't think you can call it pacing. I don't think
it's just like, here, let me dump stuff on a table and then we'll wait until the next expansion. It was really kind of crazy. But, and hopefully with the systems that they've put in place, and you guys, we can talk about this right now. With the systems they've put in place, I have probably the most hope for them to figure out pacing from a player perspective. From a real player perspective, where they go, okay, you know what? We're going to give you the raid. That's cool. This is like a non-tier raid, and we'll let you play it for a few months, and we'll see where we're at. And if you're not all the way into Mythics, guys, we'll hold back maybe a little bit, or whatever. Just kind of make it a little bit. I have great hope that they will pace it.
Well, it sounds like they've already kind of made those kind of decisions. Like, I think rumor has it that, or not rumor, but Nighthold doesn't come out until February, right?
I don't know.
Is that a rumor or?
I don't know.
I'm not. Anyways, that's what I heard last.
I don't know.
That's what I heard last is that Nighthold is not until February, and so it's September right now. That's the next raid, and then they just announced at whatever convention that was last that there's a surprise little interim 3-boss Halls of Valor raid.
Right.
Which is going to be awesome.
And that totally makes sense because with the holidays coming up and all that kind of stuff, I mean, they want to give people... I think what they said was any raid tier should be 6 months. I mean, this was a while back. They said this a couple years ago. And they said, well, a raid tier should be 6 months. So if we're saying that this is not really a raid tier, they probably want to give it 3 or 4. But the problem is holidays. But the problem is they want to make sure to give people some more stuff to do. So they're going to do a 3-boss interim raid before the tier,
Nighthold.
right? Before Nighthold. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Hellia is going to be an awesome fight in a raid situation. I know a lot of people are not excited for it at all, but oh man, it's gonna be so good.
Why? What's up?
Oh, I mean, you've been in Maw of Souls, right?
Yeah.
Or no, you haven't.
No, I have.
Or you
I haven't.
Well,
I haven't yet.
I have been in the Maw of Souls. Yes, I've been in the dungeon.
Okay.
Just in normals though, not in fancy.
But yeah, just the last boss, Helia, when you're fighting her, and it's like you're on that ship, and she's there. It's going to be a platform-based fight, just because she's so huge, obviously, and stuff. But with everything, all the tentacles and pushback, and I've just heard a lot of complaints about that. Not
already
being one of people's favorite dungeons, but it's going to be funny to see that in a raid situation.
I thought it was okay.
It's gonna be awesome.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun. Do you still have nightmares about when you were doing the challenge between you guys and the European team? Tattva?
Oh, no, that's water
Not
under
until
the bridge.
you brought it back up, Pat. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep
Took him
tonight.
like 2 months to get over that.
Oh boy.
Had to have a nightlight, everything.
Right.
No.
Right.
No, that was actually a really cool experience, seeing that for the first time in that kind of setting. And yeah, I mean, like, WoW's completely absorbed me lately, and so game night has kind of taken a backseat. But it'd be kind of cool to recreate situations like that. Hopefully, at some point, we can do some 5-man dungeon races there. It'd be fun. But
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm sure that at some point there will be time to do stuff like that. Hey, just to come back to the Legion thing for a minute, for the 3.3 million copies. Just want to say that there was another little piece of information that dropped along with this, and it was this. In addition to the 3.3 million copies sold the first day to tie the record, blah, 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 World of Warcraft's launch week player concurrency climbed to its highest point since the 2010 launch of Cataclysm.
Sweet.
Dang, Daniel.
I think that's good. That's a good sign, right? I mean, that means that people are flocking back and they're going, you know what? It's Illidan. We're going to give you a shot. What do you think, John?
I mean, I think that it's really difficult for World of Warcraft, in my opinion, to not shatter those first day sales numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they'll always continue to do that, but I think one of the biggest indicators to the health of the game is going to be these concurrency numbers. And to see numbers like that means that, hey, it's not just interesting enough for people to buy the game because I'm a Blizzard fan and I want that sweet card back, or some other in-game goodie in another game. So, whatever, I like Blizzard, I like the stuff they do, I'm going to go ahead and order this and buy it. But to say I'm sitting down and playing World of Warcraft concurrently with so many other people at the same time, that there are so many people who want to play the game right now, I think that's the sign of a really healthy game. And I'm finally glad to see that back. Part of it's how the server infrastructure runs, of course, but even going into zones, and Tattva, you've done 500 world quests? So you know this. You're in these world quest places, and there's always people out there questing, doing the things you're doing. And I remember what it felt like in Warlords when it wasn't really like that. And so to have so many people playing simultaneously, I think is a huge, strong indicator to the health of Legion as a launch product at the very least. Obviously, we all have to say that, that we'll see how they do as it goes forward. But so far, it's been amazing. And I haven't wanted to play I have to force myself to play Overwatch and Hearthstone because I just want to play WoW. And I haven't ever said that in my entire life. People, if you listen to Well Met or The Payload, I didn't say that. You didn't hear that.
No.
That was never said. No. But between you and me, I would rather be playing World of Warcraft right now.
Wow. Look out. Oh. Look out. It's a thing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You wanted raw, unadulterated confessions. You got one. Okay.
Well, you did play a Shadow Priest, so of course you. confessions. Anyway.
Oh, nice. Way to go.
So, no, but you're right.
I
think you're right. And I hope that this does last, and I hope that people do find it fun, and I hope that it doesn't become overwhelming like it seems like it kind of is, at least right now, for a lot of folks. Lots to do, right?
Tons to do.
So
just priorities.
So
yeah,
Tattva,
500 world quest priorities.
Yeah. What are the priorities, Tattva? I mean, is it just as simple as make sure your artifact power is going, make sure that all your quest things are going, make sure that your class hall is kind of going as well? Is it that?
Well, I mean, like leveling up and hitting 110, of course, you're going to want to, your class campaign is one of the most important, because when you finish that, you get that 3rd relic slot, which is a huge power spike, just as far as your item level for your artifact weapon. But once you hit 110, of course, you need to dive into Suramar. But the thing is Archway and both Archway and Court of Stars are locked behind a rep grind kind of there.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of it, though, because in Suramar, the daily quest or the world quests you can get in Suramar are going to be the number one place you're going to earn artifact power by far. Like, there's artifact power world quests everywhere, but the ones there are going to be the most beneficial. And so doing the side quests, like there's a ton of side quests that you don't even know are there until you explore that area.
Right.
Once you finish all those, like say you finish a storyline within the vineyard or something, now you can do the world quest that spawns in the vineyard. And then there's ones all over that zone and stuff. But as you continue and push into that area, they open up more and more and more. I think right now I'm like 6,500 rep into Revered. And so I'm 6,500 out of 2,100 or 21,000. I think the next quest chain opens up at 7,000 into Revered and stuff. And so Suramar's always going to be the place to go. But then beyond that, it's just what world quests give you artifact power, what world quests are going to be giving you a nice piece of gear for yourself, an upgrade or whatever.
Right.
I think something that people have been neglecting, and they've actually kind of nerfed them already, are the world PvP towers. People just stay away because a lot of people stay away just because it says PvP on it. But all of the world quests that are PvP have a PvE aspect to it. Like you can kill the guards and then that gains you. Like I'm generally never fighting anyone at these places, but the watchtowers, like I think there's 3 or 4 of them around Broken Isles. Like they used to reset every 3 hours. And so that was a huge way to farm up artifact power and gear and all that kind of stuff. I think they nerfed it down to 5 hours now, but yeah, so those ones are huge. But the other thing though, those rewards, the gear rewards, are based on your honor level, not on your item level, like all the other world quests.
Oh.
So if you spend just a little bit of time, queue up for some BGs, and get your item or get your honor level above like 14 or 15, that will open up 840 plus gear possibilities from those. And it's just normal stats. It's not like it's PvP gear. It's actual gear that you could use in raids and PvE situations. So
wow. Yeah, because all the PvP gear you can get, you can also use that for PvE. That's right, because it's the same gear now.
Mm-hmm.
So awesome.
I just learned so much, by the way.
I know. It's a good thing
I feel like I haven't even been playing this expansion anymore.
It's a good thing I recorded this, because then I can go back and I can listen to it. And if you guys are like, oh my God, that was so great. Well, I need to go back about 5 minutes and then just listen to the whole thing again. So,
but do you have all the pets for Pet Battle, Tattva?
That's the one thing that's driving me absolutely insane.
2 snaps.
Those are the world quests that I haven't do or can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't do.
That's one of the things I haven't do.
No. As a college professor, I can say that haven't do is the correct phrase.
It's really driving me crazy, obviously.
Right.
I can't even talk about it correctly.
That is correct. Oh boy. All right. In some different type of news, I talked about it at the top of the show, and that is that Chris Metzen, otherwise known as Thrall, he is retiring.
A clever strategy.
No, it's not. Well, so John is hanging his head, and hey, John, with you hanging your head and taking your hat off in a moment of silence, Thrall actually wanted to say something to you.
Oh, that's right. We're doing the joke thing. Sorry, it's been a while.
So there. I don't know.
Oh man,
what is going on with this show?
Nothing. Nothing. So yeah, he's retiring, and Shark he basically just said that he wanted to spend time with his family, right? I mean, he had this whole big long letter thing as well.
I don't think there's. I mean, he was the vice president, executive vice president of Storyline, a big, huge name over at Blizzard. He was known as the story guy. Mm-hmm. Like, all of the story of Blizzard went through Chris Metzen, all of the lore, ever since Warcraft 3. But I mean, at least all of World of Warcraft. He was
the last 22 years, whatever that is.
Yeah, 20 that he's been working on this. I tweeted today or yesterday when I found out that he was leaving that he will definitely be missed. I don't think anybody will ever be able to truly fill his shoes. And Blizzard's going to go on, and they're going to be great, and it's going to be awesome. The WoW's going to go on, the story's going to continue, and it's going to be great. But man, he was such a talented guy. And of anybody I've ever met in the gaming industry, not saying that other people aren't like this, but he was quintessentially the most friendly, genuinely passionate, not just about his game, but more about the players. Something that I found really interesting in his note is that he seemed to be not only most excited about being able to spend time with his family and focus on that, but to be able to approach Warcraft as a fan again. Like, he really loves the players, and he really loves being a player and being a fan, and like, he's seemed really excited to take a step back from the development side of it and just get to be told a story again. So I mean,
well, he's a story guy, right? So I mean, he
wants to be told the story. He's tired of making it up.
Well, he's not
until he hates it and then comes back and changes it and rewrites it.
He's going to come back in a few years after the next expansion is out, and he's going to say, "What did you guys do? This is crazy. I am unretired."
Yeah, so, exactly.
Maybe they would do that on purpose just to bring him back.
But yeah, he's not leaving for another job. He doesn't have many other irons in the fire. He's just. I could see that though. I mean, people are saying, because he's 42, he's retiring really young, and people are noticing that. But I don't know, the job that he had and the passion with which he worked. I could see him being ready to hang it up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty.
So he's hanging up the story stuff for Blizzard. He's still doing the voice for Thrall though. So
he has confirmed that.
You'll still be listening to him say a bunch of stuff. So don't worry about that. I mean, that's where the real money is anyway. As we all know. It's voice acting.
Sure.
Yeah. But I mean, this is kind of cool, and hopefully there's, it's all good back at home, and family's all good. You never know these situations, so he wants to spend time with his family. That's great. That's awesome. So
he's got a newborn, does he not? He does. Yeah. So I could see why he would want to do that. Just to say one thing though, because I've been wanting to say this all day. I'm a fairly young Blizzard baby when it comes to these games, but I remember watching him unveil Overwatch for the first time. If any of you saw that on the virtual ticket, or if you were at BlizzCon,
we were there live. Yeah,
it was amazing. It was my favorite presentation I've ever seen from Blizzard, and I also think he is the only full-grown man that I've seen on stage just cry. And like, that's really cool to see.
Oh yeah.
As long as I'm not crying on stage. But
he's such a softie. He really is.
Yeah, like him. You want to see that. I mean, BlizzCon last year, right? There was the boy who I can't remember what question he asked about one of the Overwatch characters. I think it was about Winston, but I remember it was like one of the most profound questions. And I remember watching Chris Metzen in an interview with the different MCs for BlizzCon, and he's just like tearing up, and you're just like, that's the kind of guy you want working for and creating the story of your company, the kind of person who is going to shed a tear literally for these characters and these stories that we create. And as Blizzard fans, that's the stories we want. There's epic moments. There's moments that make you feel awesome, but some of my most memorable moments are not the ones that are super epic fighting and stuff. It's like those really touching moments. And to put that into a video game where you're behind a QWERTY keyboard and, you know, a Naga mouse, and to say that I have an emotional attachment to this moment, like, is incredible.
Yeah.
And he's a huge part of that. And that's amazing.
And that happened a lot during Legion. I mean, during this expansion, especially, and during Warlords as well, the leveling up process and the whole storyline stuff that happened there. No matter what you say about what happened after that, whatever, but the leveling process in WoD was so incredible, and I think that it's gotten so much better and better and better, and the story has gotten better and better and better, and more wrapped up in everything that you do, right, in the game, right, and everything like that, and it's especially apparent here, and I think that his passion for story, his passion for the game, and his passion for the community are those things that make him such a standout for everybody that has ever seen him on a live stream or whatever, or you've heard him on a podcast, you've heard him wherever, or just seen like a video of him just talking to people that work at Blizzard. You understand that this guy has some really serious passion, and it comes through in everything that he does. And like the stage stuff at BlizzCon. Let's just talk about, you were talking about Overwatch, but I'm like, anytime he unveiled an expansion or a new IP like Overwatch or whatever, he knew exactly what buttons to push for everybody. Mm-hmm. And he's just one of those stage guys that just has so much power behind everything that he does. It's just incredible. So he will definitely be missed from BlizzCon. Hopefully he'll be there. I don't know if he's going to be on stage or whatever, but they should hire him for stage work for BlizzCon. They just hire him back and just say, "Hey, how about you do stage work for BlizzCon? Because you do incredible stuff."
Well, Hype man, and he's the first. Think about it this way: he was the first dungeon master for an MMORPG of that caliber. I mean, you had things like EverQuest and EverQuest 2 that were really interesting, great games, but at the caliber of the lore and the story behind the Warcraft universe, I mean, he was a dungeon master for millions of players.
Yeah.
And I mean,
that's really cool.
It's amazing what he was able to do. And the fact that he, with great power comes great responsibility, right, Peter? But, the way that he was able to take that and you do so much with it, I don't know. He's
right.
Go do it, Chris. You got this. Bud.
So Joe Brewer in the chat did say the question was, why did Winston get so mad when Reaper stepped on his glasses? That was the question that made him tear up. Mm-hmm. Which, if you've seen the Winston short Recall. That's a totally
Recall. 2 weeks.
Total Recall. Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was the question. But for real, in a moment of like complete seriousness, like if Chris Metzen were to ever listen to the podcast, like the only thing I could say is like, thank you. Like, thank you. Yeah. There are people who have gotten married because of the stories that he's decided to tell. There are people there are sons and fathers and mothers and daughters playing video games together because of the story and the world that Chris has helped create. And like, that's amazing. That's truly amazing. And there's not a lot of families who are crying over the latest Call of Duty, a story. And not that they're not great games, but there's something special about Blizzard games. We're all here because there's something special. And Chris was a huge part of that. And I'm really excited. I'd be lying to say if I wasn't a little bit nervous, but I'm really excited to see where Blizzard goes from this. They have such an amazing foundation.
Yep.
I wonder who the next mantle holder will be. But ultimately,
I'll do it.
To Chris, thank you. Yeah, you will do it. Of course you will. Shark,
who would though?
If he can step in at age 20 and do it, why not me?
He didn't have any experience either. I got this. I have an MFA. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
It's the same thing.
I'd come nowhere near.
That's funny.
Sorry, continue, John. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say is just if Chris ever, stumbles across this podcast, the only thing I would say is thank you. And I think that's the only thing that as a community we can really say is thank you, because it's so amazing. My girlfriend spent $600 on an Xbox and gaming headphones because of the story of Overwatch. And we play that 10, 15 hours a week together.
That's a game with never really played. That's a game with
no story. Yeah, just the shorts.
Right.
I mean, that's thank you, Chris. Thank you for doing that. And I hope that whatever you end up doing, I hope it's amazing. Congratulations on your family. Congratulations on a retirement age of 42. Yep, I know that there are many people who would love that.
Right.
But that's just so amazing. And yeah, when I saw it, at first I was sad, and then I was just full of gratefulness because it's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
The worlds that he's created. 5 total, complete, distinct world. Well, actually 4. I'll add 4 total new, complete. I'm better at. He's better at making stories than I am at counting them. Let's just say that.
Yes. Well done, Chris, as Tattva says in the chat room. So thank you very much for sure. Tattva, do you have anything to add to that at all? I know you're a story guy. So
yeah, I'm a big lore nerd. It's bad. It's bad. I'm super sad. But no, everything that if I talk about it too much, I'm going to probably start bawling. So I'm just going to stay away from this one. Aww. No, he's like if you at home or wherever you're listening to this haven't ever experienced him, I know people mentioned his stage presence and stuff, announcing anything or just how he talks about the games and stuff. Go back. There's videos around of him, but that dude's stage presence was epic, like beyond epic. The most passionately aggressive, confident nerd in the planet, just having at it. It was great. It's always great to hear him talk.
Right, and like him saying geek is, that whole speech before BlizzCon 2014, I think. Maybe it was 2013, I'm not sure. So I mean, he's just one of those guys where everybody likes him. It's hard not to like him. Why? Because he's a cool dude. That's it.
I'll go ahead and straight up say, if you don't like him, you're just wrong.
Right.
You're incorrect on that.
So to Chris Metzen, here you go. Big round of applause. There we go. So there we have it. And now we'll go back to some silliness, some silly talk, and welcome back, John.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to seriously go grab some Kleenex. I'm such a jerk.
Oh,
I'm not a jerk. I'm just I'm an emotional guy.
Mm-hmm.
I cry often, mainly when Sharku makes fun of me, but sometimes for real good reasons.
Right.
And now I can't even get on my headphones.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Warcraft movie and some things. So Warcraft movie's coming out, right? Coming out on Blu-ray, DVD, and all that kind of good stuff. And there's going to be some fun stuff involved. September 27th comes out, U.S. and Canada. Shark, what's the rundown? What are we getting? What's the free stuff that we're getting?
Well, it looks like you're getting digital keys that can unlock some goodies in Blizzard games. For example, you can get a Medivh hero key in Hearthstone to unlock awesome. Medivh.
I don't have that yet. I need that.
Yeah, and that was actually something, if I remember, Medivh is unreleased. I'm thinking Khadgar.
Nope, Medivh is released. He's one of the... He was released. Okay. He's just one of those that you could get. Khadgar was the iOS only.
One. Yep.
Which I thought that they were going to do. But
thank you for correcting that. Yeah, I got confused. But
it's the only thing I have authoritative knowledge on, so I had to.
I remember. Yeah, I remember Medivh because Medivh was the first mage alternate that was released.
Yep.
Yeah. He was released with.
You are correct.
Magni.
Yep.
Not Magni. Magni.
Yep, Magni. Well, it was Magni and Leah, or not the Michelle Morrow did the voiceover for the Hunter.
Illyria.
Thank you.
Runner.
That's good. You can also get a Gul'dan hero in Heroes of the Storm.
In Heroes of the Storm, yeah. And then game time in WoW if you don't play WoW.
Look at that. But of course, everybody here plays WoW because they're listening to a show about WoW. So if you've made it this far into the show about WoW, you probably play WoW.
And I think it's awesome. But here's my problem, though, Zug, is that one of the issues with the movie was that people. It seemed the critique with the movie was that people didn't like it unless they were fans already, right? So if you're not a fan of the movie and you didn't see it in theaters, you probably won't buy it.
Right.
So why are they giving new game time to people that have never played WoW before and not giving something cool to the fans that have been following them for 15 years?
You're right. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
They gave them a movie, Shark.
It doesn't.
I mean, I see what they're doing, and they're trying to get people back into WoW, and they want to restart the engines, and maybe the fans that I think they're targeting the fans that have stopped playing the game.
Okay.
After playing back in BC and Wrath, and then over the past 5 years have stopped. They went and saw the movie, all that nostalgia hit them, and so they're going to go buy the movies, and when they buy the movie, they get back into the game, so they're trying to rehook them on that Blizzard crack.
Maybe.
But I feel like they should have done something for the guys that have, and I know that they've given away gifts for people that have had active accounts for over 10 years or something recently. It would have been cool to have something like this in the movie, like to have a pet or a mount or something for people that are actively playing already, that aren't,
They only featured the Griffin mount in the movie, so I can't really say what the mount would be because the Griffin is you get that anyway.
You could hop on Durotan's shoulders or something.
Oh, yeah. You get your own Durotan. You could ride your own Durotan.
But I don't
the farther he walks, the skinnier he gets.
Oh no. Too soon.
It's the second time I've cried on the podcast. Thanks a
lot. Anyway, but if those, I guess the argument would be that you get the Hearthstone stuff and the Heroes of the Storm stuff.
Yeah.
So, I bet it's cool. It's cool. I'm just like, meh.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like free stuff as much as the next guy, but I personally think this is brilliant. I do have a question, though. I hope someone can answer this for me.
Okay.
It says that you get a digital copy of World of Warcraft, which, like vanilla, like up to Kata,
it's all lumped.
Up to
every new expansion. I think every new expansion lumps it all together.
So up to Draenor.
It's up to Legion.
Includes Legion.
It's probably through
like I would guess Draenor.
Right. But that's what I would guess. Probably.
Sorry, I was expecting somebody to have the answer, but that would I be wondering. What I was wondering is how far up that goes, because game time's great, but that's the battle chest, right? Is Draenor?
Yeah.
I tried to look before the show, and I figured I can't find it, so let's answer it.
I would think it would be that. Mm-hmm. So there we go.
I would think till Draenor. I don't often disagree with Tattva. I think twice in my life one lost me a toe the first time. The second time, though, I think I'm going to win this one. So,
all right.
Sorry, you guys are right.
No problem.
Hey, let's Gizmo, you can come back on whenever you want.
Oh, boy. All right, let's talk about this developer Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas. This was earlier this week. Few days, actually, it was last week, but whatever. There was a Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas, and there were many interesting things to be said about Legion, and they are doing this more and more, which I really enjoy. They are doing these developer Q&As. And we've heard it from a bunch of different perspectives, but now that the game is actually going, now that we're live, it's kind of interesting to hear what new questions people have as we get out of beta and into the actual expansion. So was there anything in particular that you guys felt like, now we have answers, now we have this answered? Was there a particular question that stood out to you guys in any way over this whole thing? Because it was about an hour long. So
yeah.
I mean, it was jam-packed, full of information, which I really appreciated. And, Ian Hazzikostas has slowly kind of come from the background. And I feel like every year we hear about him more and more and more and more. And I really feel like this is the maybe first or second time I've heard from him where I'm like, World of Warcraft feels like his baby. It really does. It feels like
it's more and more. Well, I mean, his role has expanded quite a bit too, because when we started the show back in 2011, he was one of the raid guys, right? So he was actually just kind of chugging away and making these raids and making them cool and all that kind of good stuff. And then he was like the lead raid guy, and then he was the lead encounter guy, and now he's lead game director. So I mean, that says a little something about how far he's moved along. So, it's good.
And before he started at Blizzard, wasn't he just like a guild leader? Like he was just a big guild leader who ended up kind of moving over to World of Warcraft, kind of like what Lore did. He was making content, and boom.
No, well, I mean,
you're on the team.
I don't know exactly how it went, but I know that he has a law degree. If that means anything to you, for a game developer,
that I did know.
Having a law degree, that's good.
Nerd.
Nerd. So no, but
what really,
I think he was just really into the game, and so
maybe
it made it happen. So that's good. Yeah.
For your original question though, I'd really liked the time they spent on the order hall stuff, because I mean, even Darius has joked about it in the past, of like Garrison 2.0 and all that stuff, and hearing him speak so eloquently about the changes they've made to order halls, even down to the intentionality to how many followers or champions you can have available at once.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really amazing, where they talked about, we want you to be managing your order hall. We want that to be an active thing you do, but we don't want you to feel like you're micromanaging, which I found a little bit ironic because they gave us an iOS app to micromanage.
Well, now if you let me jump in here for a second.
Go ahead.
I'm taking it. I'm taking the reins. I'm jumping all over.
I want to see Shark
because I said, and I wasn't on the show at this point, I don't think, but talking to you folks in Guild about when Garrisons came out, I said, man, this is great. They're obviously going to develop an iOS app for this. They're going to develop something on your phone that you can be doing this outside of the game while you're at work, sitting in a meeting that you're not paying attention to.
They should have. It was a Facebook game. It was a Facebook game. So I mean, it
absolutely was a Facebook game. Right. It doesn't make any sense that they didn't do it.
Right.
So now that they're making that available, I don't have to come home, log into my World of Warcraft account, run my character all over my garrison, talk to this guy and that guy, and I can do it all on my phone. I don't even have to open up. I don't have to run from one place to another at all.
But the thing
I can do it all on my phone, and even when I pick up the goods, it goes straight into my bag.
Yeah.
So I think it's a much better way to handle it.
Sure.
To where I don't feel like I have to jump in and do it. So when I'm playing WoW, I'm actually playing WoW. I'm not screwing around in my order hall.
The other nice thing is that it's not really a Facebook game anymore, because you have like these 8-hour cooldowns. essentially. So you're like, you can log in and do it a couple of times a day maybe, but you're not
do it once or twice a day.
You're not playing it like a Facebook game. You're not playing it like Garrisons at all. So
you do that. You clean it up every time you poop, man.
Wow.
That's how you do it. Wow. Every time you poop.
ETT, baby. ETT. I got you.
If there's one thing I learned from this show.
Time. Yep. That is it. Now, Tattva, they were also talking about XP and dungeons, and they were like going, hey, so I want to just chain run dungeons, and the XP isn't great, so make that better. Right?
I'm glad he just shot that down and just buried that thing. Like,
right.
That's I'm falling out of my ears now. But yeah, that's right. I mean, like dungeon grinding and stuff for the old like level cap races and all that kind of thing. Like that was fun, whatever. But like they're telling such an amazing story now, and all the zones are so diverse and awesome, and like the little cutscenes that they do now with everything. Like, why would they encourage missing out on all that content? Like that's just silliness. Yeah, you can level super fast, just quest. Yeah. Save those dungeons for when you hit 110, get the gear.
That's basically what I did. I mean, I hit 110. I saved up all my dungeon quests because I'm like going, well, I'm not going to run them right now. I'm in the middle of a zone. I want to check this thing out. I want to see where it goes. I don't need this right now. But as soon as I hit 110, I went, I need this right now. I started queuing up.
I have a confession.
Yes.
I have a confession to make. So about 109, I'm like, I've had enough of questing. I just want to get to 110. I'm just going to grind out a dungeon or two, get a full level, and be done. That was the stupidest thing I have ever done because I got like 10% per. Like I got the first bonus, which was awesome, like a fifth of the level. Amazing. And then we random queued into the next one. It was the same dungeon. We random queued again, got the same dungeon for a third time. Wow. So I got like 40% of a level over like 2 hours. And that was bogus. So you may have already hit level 110, but if you have not and you're like, I'm going to finish the rest out dungeoning, if you don't have the dungeon quest, don't do it.
Right.
Don't you do it. No, don't you do it, Ricky Bobby. Don't do it.
Nope. Nope, not at all. Not at all.
That happened to me. Worst decision I've ever made, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah. Worst. It was a good decision just to crush that, though.
The worst.
Right.
Crush it.
That one, and then seeing the World of Warcraft movie, a little bit impaired. Those are the two things.
Oh boy. To be a fly on the wall. All right. Another thing that that he kind of talked about during the Q&A was about class balance, about how they're going to be changing stuff, and Ian Hazzikostas was basically saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to do this all at one time, or we're not going to just do like little spell changes here and there. So you guys get prepared. There's still a lot that they are probably going to need to fix as they get more data. That was one thing he said throughout the entire video. Yeah, as soon as we get more data, we'll have more data, and then we'll be able to do something with that data eventually, like change stuff. So they're going to collect more data, and then they're going to do it all in these big lumps where they're going to change a bunch of crap, and then hopefully they will never have to touch it again. Because as we know, once you change balance in a game like this, nothing ever goes wrong. Right, fellas? Never.
Well, I think the idea is rather than tweaking here and there along the way, they take notes on a bunch of tweaks they want to do and then do it all at once. Yeah. And if it has to happen again, that's fine. But rather than it constantly changing throughout the entire expansion, that gets confusing to players and frustrating when you have something that's working really well and then it changes just a little bit and then changes back and then Right. So I think they want to go with a little bit more consistency. And even if there is something that's a little broken, let it stay broken for a second. People can enjoy it.
Let's see what the community does with it. Let's just see what happens.
Wink, wink, fire mages.
Oh, yeah.
Let it, because that's gonna get nerfed.
All right.
But yeah.
All right.
In one of the
go ahead.
In one of the older Q&As, they actually did mention just how the game's built now. That they not saying. I mean, he just said that they don't want to make little tweaks here and there, but in one of the old Q&As, they actually mentioned just because of how it's built now, it's going to be a lot easier for them if there is something like straight up broken that they can fix it really quickly, and it's not that big of a deal. Whereas before, just the way the systems work, it was a much bigger pain to do that. But
well, that's good.
Yeah. Right. Anything else from the Q&A that you guys thought needed to be covered at all, or anything like that?
I like at the very end.
Yes.
Where they talked about content pacing. The quote is, "We are confident that we will pace content better this time. For real, we mean it."
Right.
So
right.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna be the voice of the negative on this one. I love Blizzard. I love you, Ian. I love everything that happens over there. I've spent almost literally all of my money on you. I don't believe him. I don't believe it. I believe they want to.
Sure.
But I don't know if it's. And I've said this before on the show, I think, as well. I'd rather than be honest and be like, we want to put out the best content and it's going to take us a while to do it, than to say we're going to push it out better. Because the last 3 expansions, that this is the promise that we've been given, and it hasn't been there.
No, it's been
once, shame on you.
It's been
right.
It's been pretty horrible. But here's the thing that I'll say. And this is the thing that Laura came back with too, was after each of these failures that they've had, and I think they have admitted that the pacing part of it was definitely a failure for Warlords, for Mists, for maybe Cataclysm. Well, yes, Cataclysm.
When we were in Cataclysm, we thought that pacing was terrible.
Yeah, and
we got into Mists and Warlords,
and so he said. With each of these, we have learned some key things, some different things that maybe we didn't know before we went through this pacing problem. And hopefully, and I'll say it too, hopefully with the systems that they've set up with artifact power, with all the different little power grabs that you can get from around the world, plus all of the different things like when you're 108, you're fighting a 108 mob. When you're 110, you're fighting a 110 mob. You're side by side. It's the same thing. They're scaling all this stuff, and maybe with the scaling technologies, they can do some more stuff too. I'm kind of hopeful about that. So,
Sharku, there's one thing I have to say about all this. Hey Siri, remind me in 1 year to tell Sharku that he was so wrong.
And I was going to add that.
I'll remind you.
Oh, there we go.
There we got it.
There we go.
Siri,
it's done.
You traitor. No, and I wanted to end. I didn't want to leave it on that. I did want to say there would be nothing that would make me happier for me to eat my hat in a year and a half. Honestly, it really would. I challenge Blizzard.
Are you like Darius and you spend $15 on those hats though?
Sure. I would spend $15 on a hat.
Such an old joke.
That was good.
I would love good. I honestly, I'm gonna make that my statement. But in truth, I wouldn't be happier if I was wrong. I really couldn't be. So I'm rooting for him secretly, but I'm just not. So
I am too. I think
see you in a year, Shark.
I think they're set up to be better than ever. And again, time will tell. But I think they're set up a lot better than they have been in the past, and definitely a hell of a lot better than they were in Warlords. So,
I think the one difference as far as their approach this time goes is I think they have some hidden content in their pockets. I mean, they revealed one of them with the Halls of Valor mini boss thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's, I think, some major stuff that's happening that, like, they'll announce the next tier rating, but they have that other little raid in their pocket that there's like, hey, you don't know about this one, but, Nighthold's going to be in February. We have this one over in August or whatever it is. But then, surprise, we have SSC 2.0 for you here.
Right.
Go fight.
And I think the scaling tech will be something that may help keep things kind of fresher. I mean, like what they're doing with Karazhan for 7.1. They're making that a 5-man raid. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know,
awesome.
and that's
that will be
new
cool.
content, and that's relevant to the expansion, and it's also total throwback. So it's great. I love it.
And it continues to be relevant with the Mythic Plus system too.
Right.
And all of the controversy with the what are the nostalgia realms or whatever that was going on.
Oh, right.
With the private servers and stuff like Blizzard. Blizzard is hearing from their fan base that there is a nostalgia factor that is in play here. So doing stuff like re-releasing Kara, stuff like that. That was my first raid. That was my girlfriend's first raid. Yeah. We're definitely going to be running that a few times, you know, right. And having a lot of fun doing it. So I mean, they've got the tools. I think they can do it. I just put your money where your mouth is. I've been fooled 3 times in a row.
Yep. All right. Let's stop talking about WoW for a second so that we can bring you some. Well, I mean, for right now, we'll get back. We'll get back to it. And just we only have like a couple of things that we need to bring up from the other games,
right.
And it'll be quick. We'll make it fairly quick. So let's talk about how about HOTS.
Let's jam.
All right, Heroes of the Storm. We have a new patch that released today, and that included Alarak and the Machines of War maps. Right? Was it both of them? Shark, do you know? You're kind of the resident HOTS guy around here.
Not today.
No. I think it was 2 maps for the Machines of War plus Alarak, the new guy.
I think they got the new maps out. Maybe one new map. Mm-hmm. But Alarak, I know that came out. I was gonna jump in and Juby and Nats were playing. My friends from Adults with Jobs, and I was gonna jump in and run some unranked with them, but I unfortunately got called away to work stuff, so I didn't get a chance to check it out. But every time a new hero pops into the game, you should go play it. This is a new Protoss hero. It's I mean. Check it out. And the new maps looked really awesome.
Oh, they look cool.
I was watching them play on the PTR.
StarCraft maps, I mean, they're awesome. So yeah, it's great.
So go check. I wish I had information.
Well, unfortunately, we'll check it out. It's fresh news anyway, so we'll see what ends up happening with that stuff, and maybe get you to opine about this next time you're on.
The one show I'm on without Gizmo, you throw it to me, and I don't have the answer.
That's right. Well. Yes.
That Alarak skin is amazing.
Yeah, everything looks really cool.
Yeah.
Skin.
Right. Yeah.
Shout out to WoW. Not to bring WoW up again, but yeah.
The best part about
let's go there.
The best part about Heroes of the Storm is the throw they did to WoW. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk instead about Hearthstone.
Well met.
So, John, since you have a show about Hearthstone.
I do.
And I believe it's called
Well Met.
So
there is.
What is the new thing? Actually, the new thing is an old thing, kind of.
Well, Sharku, let me pose you a question. Do you like free stuff?
I love free stuff.
Well, you're a sucker because nothing in life is free. However, there are some things in life that come very cheap. And this would be the welcome bundle in Hearthstone. So
I think that
basically,
gets big applause.
I thought that was pretty amazing. So basically, how it works is $5 gets you 10 classic packs. Each has 5 cards. If you didn't know that, and you are guaranteed at least 1 legendary card. So $5. 50 cards, at least 1 legendary. It's a random legendary, won't be a gold version, but that's kind of an amazing value. Thank you, Pat, for doing the math in the show notes, because I didn't look this up ahead of time.
Yep, you're welcome.
But right now, the cheapest classic card pack bundles are priced at 2 for $3, so $1.50 a piece, or 7 for $10. I'm not doing that math. Nope. But this way you get 10 for $5, which is 50 cents a piece, and a guaranteed legendary. Which, if there's anything
Yeah,
that's good.
Sharku, do you like free legendaries?
I love free legendary. You can open 20 packs in a row.
Sharku, you got to pay attention. There's no such thing as free. No such thing as free, Shark. You gotta pay. You gotta pay $5. We talked about this.
Right.
But no, for real.
You can lead a horse to water, Pat. You can lead a horse to water. But you,
he has to be thirsty to drink.
Anyways,
right?
I'm just not thirsty for you, bud.
Well, that's the mess of other Blizzard game news. Let's do one real quick question. Okay, one question from the crew, and then we'll move on.
We've got mail.
We do. And if you have a question about anything for us, about rating, about any of these games or anything else, just let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can always email us at converttoraid@gmail.com, or you can call our raid line, 612-787-RAID. And the first one is from Pyromonkey from Twitter, and he says, I'm on the fence for Legion. How do you think raid tanking will be? And now, Tattva, you do some tanking, don't you?
Well,
a little
for
bit.
Mythics anyways right now.
Yeah,
Just
so how is
prepping for raids?
How is raid tanking? How is tanking in general?
Tanking in general is awesome. Like I tanked as a druid before they were even guardians. You know, that wasn't a thing back in the day, but I tanked as a druid for the first 9 years that I played WoW. Then switched to monk, then switched to feral, and now I'm finally tanking again, and it's the most fun I've had tanking in a long time. Like Guardian Druids are in a really good spot, but as far as just raid tanking goes, I don't know if, what was his name? Pyromonkey has looked into the raid encounters at all, but Blizzard has done a really good job lately of getting away from just the whole switch, taunt swap at 3 stacks.
Right.
And that's the whole tanking difficulty. Anyways, but I mean, in the Emerald Nightmare, you're going to be getting buffs that make you jump real high and squishing spiders and standing over in this pool to absorb it and tanking all these random ads that are showing up. Like, it's going to be a very awesome role to be filling and a very important role. And so I think as far as the new raids are going, tanking is going to be a very fun role. It's just not going to be sitting there taunt swapping, you know. Cool. So if that's what you like to do, it's going to be an awesome experience. Blizzard raids are always great, though. I love them. That's my favorite part of the game. But yep,
awesome.
You'll have some awesome stuff to look forward to.
Awesome. Well, and if you're going to taunt swap, have something active that the off tank is doing, rather than just standing there doing as much DPS as they possibly can. You know,
right?
I feel like that's something that's important.
They've usually been pretty good about that, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like that's kind of the realm they're going with this tier?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, personal responsibility keeps going up every tier. Like it's becoming more and more important for your performance from every single player in the raid. It's not just, you know, you can have a few deaths and it's okay. They're getting to this point where, yeah, you screw up, you really could just wipe everyone. So enjoy that. But it makes it more fun.
That's right. You make sure you always have somebody to blame. That's a good rule of raiding right there, everybody.
Yeah, Shark's looking for a raid team. That's his best role right
I really am, honestly, as far as like I'll bring whatever raid role you want me to bring, but the most important role I bring is scapegoat, and that's not a lie.
That is true.
Nice.
That is true. He has played the scapegoat for a number of years. He is well versed in it.
AI, the casuals, those teams were as good as they were because they could blame Sharku. We need to change that blame Celestialon sounder to blame Sharku, because I've been blamed for more shit than Celestialon has. I can tell that.
Can I just say for a second how much I appreciate the fact that Tattva tried to tell a secret to a microphone?
Yes.
Is that
that's good. Wait, you did that too.
I gotta tell you guys a secret. Coming close. Coming close.
You did that too earlier this show. You didn't.
Sharku, you want a free secret?
I'm gonna. Yeah,
no, they're not free, Shark. They cost $5. They're $5. Oh man,
I can't do this anymore, Pat.
Where'd you find this guy, Pat? What is?
You don't want to. You don't want to know.
The least happy accident.
The least. The least. All right, we gotta go. We got a thing to do.
World quests.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play this music here, and we're gonna go around the room, and you're gonna tell me what's going on for you guys upcoming, and where people can find you. And let's start with Shark. Shark, what are you up to? Are you gonna be ready for raiding next week?
Man, I'm going to be, well, hopefully. I mean, I have a spot. We only have like 10 people on the team, so I better be.
Right.
I'll be raiding on Wednesday, or not raiding, but we'll be playing together on Wednesday, trying to get some gear. I'm going to try to kick it in the hard mode and get some more gear, hopefully avoiding too much time spent at work. I'm directing Legally Blonde the musical right now, so if anybody's around Western North Carolina and you want to give me a holla and come see Legally Blonde the musical, directed by one and only Sharku. It really is. It's been a lot of fun. It's my first time
That's cool.
Jumping into a big musical directing like that, so we're having a good time. But yeah, outside of that, you can find me on Twitter at Sharku
_CTR. That's the one.
And same thing on Twitch if I ever get to streaming again, which I'll probably be streaming a little bit more as the play dies down, but Twitch /Sharku _CTR.
Cool. Tattva, you were talking about the LOS videos coming back after raids open up, right? And anything else going on? Are you streaming anything, or what's going on with your team?
I need to start streaming. We'll be streaming raids, so that will be on Thursday and Sunday. I just should be streaming anyways. So, I mean, we're outside of raiding, we're going to be doing a lot of Mythic Plus grinding, trying to get that Keystone level as high as possible. Oh. And so, I mean, that's going to be an awesome way to get some extra Mythic gear.
Cool.
It's going to be sweet.
Awesome.
But yeah, going to be diving into the videos hard, and harder than we've ever diving, whatever, before.
And where can people find you?
On Twitter at LOS_gaming. Same with the Twitch channel. Yeah, That's basically it for us. Oh, YouTube channel. That's our big thing, right? I guess YouTube.
That's big for you.
Yeah, it's the LOS Gaming Show on YouTube.
There you go.
A little different.
Yeah. Hey, John, what about you? I know that you've got like multiple podcasts going. You've got I don't know, all this WoW to play, and
yes,
stuff like that. So what's going on with you?
So much. So as for me, I will be at TwitchCon at the end of the month.
Oh, that's right.
So if you're gonna be there, I'm really excited. I'm going to be at a paddle calling Podcasting on Twitch, growing your podcast community with DJ Tyrant. He's Jimmy Bloxam. Mick Montgomery, he's going to be there for that.
Awesome.
So it's going to be amazing. And then Trista Ray and Avison from the Misclicks crew. So I will be there. I probably won't talk much. I'll be taking notes the whole time from everything else that everybody else said. I'll be like, ooh, that's a good idea.
Sure.
Write that one down. So I will be there for that. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/kicktripod, on Twitter at twitter.com/kickedtripod, and then you can find Wellmet at wellmet.blizzpro.com and the payload at payload.blizzpro.com if you want Hearthstone or Overwatch entertainment for your ear holes. We will be there.
Awesome. Cool. And let's see, what am I up to? Just gearing and other silliness. Don't forget about our shirt. Wait, hold on a sec. Here.
You are not prepared.
That one, that shirt right there. Just go over to teespring.com/not repaired. Here, there we go. So teespring.com/not repaired for the shirt. That's a bunch of fun over there. And let's see, you can follow me on Twitter at Pat Crane with a K. Okay. And you can follow the show at Convert to Raid on Twitter as well.
Not with a K. No K's.
No K's in Convert to Raid. Nope. None there. And there are many other ways that you can join us, and I will tell you about them right now. I'm going to do new music right here.
Ooh.
It doesn't sound new, but it is. You can join the conversation anytime, like Discord. For your instant invite, all you have to do is just point your web browser, over to discord.converttoraid.com, or you can look it up on our links on the website, which is converttoraid.com. You can email us at converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. And you can join the Bazuba Guabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, the thing I was just talking about, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, lots of links, and more. Like the guild stuff, all over at converttoraid.com. We're also on the internet, so you can find us all over the place. Just enter in internet into your search, and you will find Convert to Raid.
It's not how that works.
Or maybe the other way around. Not sure. Convert to Raid Presents is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. That's going to do it for the show. Guys, thank you, as always, for joining us. Pat. It was lovely to talk to you for yet another fun-filled hour plus, mainly about WoW. Good stuff. I like it.
Nice to be home again.
Yeah, and it's nice to see everybody in the chat room coming in and sparking conversations here and there. So thank you guys as well. For all of the guys at Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.